What did you think of the backup? I kind of like take solace in Dan getting like cautiously optimistic on the future of Spider-Man based on 3-page backups. We've seen this before,
Yeah,
Dan.
I know. I'm a sucker, and I am still looking forward to issue 1 of the Joe Kelly run, if only to see like something new. I'm ready to move past this story and
Right.
allow him to get into whatever proper thing that he might have planned for us. And I've been reading interviews with him. I think the first interview with him came out today about his plans for the run. And I actually think that this backup reflects a lot of the things that he says in that interview. One of the things he is interested in doing is getting into Peter's backstory before high school,
Mm,
and where his kind of morals and ideology about the world comes from. And I think you can see that in this backup story. It opens with him talking about doing chores for May and Ben, and how that gave him a sense of responsibility and an idea of money. And I think that's interesting. Like, I
yeah.
don't know if I want to live a run with a ton of like flashbacks or things that could be retcons, but I actually really enjoyed this backup, and for a number of reasons. I also like how it like frames Peter and his role towards money, which is something that we also I think saw in the preview for 8 Deaths of Spider-Man, where he was like making fun of sort of like tech bro, oligarchical, culture that I think has kind of become dominant in America and in the global. There, he's making fun of like Bitcoin, and here he's kind of like making fun of one how bad he is with money, but also that like money isn't everything. That like you can't take it with you. How are you going to spend it if you're dead? Kind of thing. And frankly, I want to read an anti-capitalist, anti-oligarchical 99% Spider-Man book. Like I think that would be very relevant,
Mm,
and that in these kind of 2 preview stories that we've gotten from Joe Kelly, he does make fun of that kind of culture and makes it so prominent here that there's literally people just
sure.
throwing money into the streets. Um, and the sort of like deprioritization of financial wealth from Peter. I think that's a really smart place to take the character of Spider-Man in 2025. Is, you know, the final image of this is him with all these unpaid bills, and he's like, what do I do for a job? Like, I think if you could make him a sort of like hard luck, not being able to find a job, like really leaning into the sort of like financial collapse, and the sort of like poor versus rich and the widening erasure of the middle class in this country. I think that's a really interesting place to put Spider-Man. I don't know that he's going to do it, but like I like the shades of it that we got in a story like this.
Yeah, I mean, it has potential to be interesting. I mean, at the for me, honestly, it's not even me disregarding what I read on the page here. It's just the idea that like, you're talking about a new direction and something new, and I'm like, yeah, but it's still Joe Kelly. And Joe Kelly
Yeah.
is, and I'm not even saying that like a Joe Kelly is bad way, but I'm like, Joe Kelly is the antithesis of new.
Yeah.
And like frankly, I feel like he played with some of these themes and like nonstop Spider-Man and Savage Spider-Man, and those books were nonsense. So
It is true that those books are also about like tech corporatists and things like that. Yeah.
so I mean, like let's see what we got here. I'm not going to poo-poo this run before it happens, but it's hard for me to like jump into this thinking we're gonna get something new and exciting here when it's someone who wrote the book 15 years ago. So like
I can't push back on that. I just know that I like this backup, and
sure,
I
yeah,
liked this angle on Spider-Man. And I think, who's to say if it adheres to anything we're going to be reading in the future.
mm,
But, I'm trying to pick up on themes. You said Nonstop did it as well. And I don't think it's a wrong direction to necessarily take the character to make him sort of the everyman hedge against big money tech interests in America in 2025.